Hey, hey, hey. How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight's demo is all about ink. You're going to be playing around with Chalk Couture transfers, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to use ink. We're going to use ink on a couple of different projects, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. Hello, Miss Barb. You're the first one here. So we've talked about our transfers. Our transfers are silkscreen transfers, adhesive back. They're reusable. You can reuse them 8 to 12 times. They also work both for either chalk or for ink. Doesn't matter. You can flip-flop it back and forth, and it works just great. So we've been doing a lot of chalking in previous demonstrations. So tonight we're going to be playing around with a little bit of ink. Hello, Miss Lisa. So what we're going to do first is we're going to ink a coffee cup. I've been making me a set of coffee cups, and we're going to continue because this would be number 4, but I didn't like it, so I took it off. So coffee cups are a great way for you to experiment and try out some ink, because you know what? It's very forgiving. It's like a chalkboard. You don't like it, you just take it off. Just take it off, redo it, wash your transfers, and start all over again. So on our cute little coffee cup, we're going to be using some of our minis. These are called French Country minis. And for some reason, I thought I had all of them in here, but I don't. I am missing like 3 French Country minis here. But look at those cutie patooties. So you can see up here at the top, these are the ones I've already used. And sometimes you'll get some staining. So like the blacks, the oranges, the reds, you know, sometimes when you clean them, they're going to stain. It's okay. They still work perfectly fine. They're just not as pretty as they were when you bought them. And I think tonight we're going to be playing around with this bread one. So let's do this bread one for tonight. So let's bring you down and let's get busy. So we're going to do the bread one tonight. So how has everybody been doing today? I had a busy, crazy day. Crazy day. Keeping me busy, 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 busy. So if anybody sent me any messages today, I haven't responded back because I have been busy, 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 busy today. But I'm off work now, so I am all yours after this party. Okay, so for the coffee cup, you've got that nice smooth surface. You want to make sure your coffee cup is clean. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to come over it with some alcohol to make sure you don't have any like oils or anything from lotion that may be on there that might have been on your hand. And then, once again, these are little minis. They're like little 2x2s. So that's what's super great about getting a transfer of all these minis that come 12. We've got a whole lot of different variety of these. We had like Easter spring ones. We have summer ones. We have Valentine's Day, Christmas, Halloween. We've got so many cute minis. And you can use these minis on a whole lot of stuff. They're really cute also on our little chalkable chips. That's what I do with my sampler kits. Put them on the little chalkable chips. You can punch a hole in it and hang it like on a wine bottle, or use it as a tag, or put a magnet on the back of it. Just so many cute things to do. Now, I fuzzed this about 3 or 4 times. You have to get some cute minis. Yes, ma'am, you sure do. Then you're going to put it on your coffee cup wherever you want it to go. So coffee cups are a great way to experiment because ink's got a different consistency to it. It's thinner. You're going to use less of it. You've got longer time to apply it, and like chalk, you know, you have to move pretty fast because it dries pretty fast. This you can take your time with because it's going to take, I normally let my coffee cups and all my stuff dry overnight for a good 24 hours. And then you're going to have to heat set it. So heat set for like a coffee cup you're going to, I normally do a whole set of them. And you know what? I think I want to move that over a little bit. What do you think? You think it looks good there, or should we move it over just a T-touch? I guess it looks okay. I like to do a whole set. So I'll do a few coffee cups, and I do a lot of these for Christmas presents. I do it for normally my coworkers. They get a lot of Christmas cups with, you know, candy or chocolate or coffee. I mean, there's just so many ways you can dress up a coffee cup, right? So we're going to use black. So this is our ink. Versus in our previous demonstrations, we've been playing around with the paste. So remember, paste is water-based, non-toxic, comes off with water. And then our ink are semi-permanent until they've been heat set. So like I said, I let these dry overnight, and then I do a set of them, and I put them on a cookie sheet. I bring my oven up to 350. When it gets to 350, I put the cookie sheet with all my coffee cups in there and put it in the oven, and I bake it for 30 minutes. Turn the oven off, let it come down to room temperature, and then these guys are heat set. You can wash them. You can put them in the dishwasher, and it is there because we have heat set it, and it is permanent. Now, some people prefer to hand wash because hand wash is gonna make it last longer. Eventually, doing it in the dishwasher, I can't talk. It will eventually kind of rub it off. So, you know, like everything else in life is permanent, but eventually it'll wear off. But in my book, when it wears off, it's just time for me to reapply something else on it. That is what's super cool about Chalk Couture, is I can reuse and reuse and reuse. So I've got that covered. So you're going to use very little. Going to grab a corner, loosen it up. And then you need to remove this even tension, but you need to do it even tension on anything. You don't want to pull your transfer diagonally because that'll stretch it. So I normally try to get it up and try to even tension it off. Look there. Super duper cute, don't you think? Super duper cute. Now, this you're going to have to wash really fast. I mean, you know, not like supersonic fast, but if you notice, sometimes I'll do these demonstrations and I'll have them hanging over here on the side of my table. And sometimes they sit there for a day or two, and then I'll wash them, which is not good practice, but it does happen. These I have to wash after I do these demonstrations because you don't want ink to dry in these transfers. So when you get done using them, go ahead and wash them. Go ahead and wash them and get that ink out. So there we go, guys. We made us a cute little coffee cup in what? 5 minutes? You can make a whole set of these. Wouldn't that be cute? And put some chocolate and cocoa or however you want to dress that boy up. But he's perfectly dressed up gorgeously right there. Okay, coffee cup done. Yeah. That would be my dog. That would be my dog. Okay, the second project we're going to play around with is we're going to play around with a flower sack. So this is one of those flower towels. They come in a set. And then what I like to do is just kind of find the center. And then, you know, you can sew iron it. I used to iron them once upon a time. So you can iron it. Probably make life a little easier if you did iron it. But, you know, that would be taking away all the fun, right? And then with fabric, I like to use what's called our ink mats. Our ink mats are going to work for various reasons. We've got two different sizes. We have a 17 by 17, and then we have an 11 by 23. I think it's the size of that other one. They're both $17.99 retail. And those are great when you're doing fabric. Now what I do, let me kind of bring you up a little bit. Now what I do is I've got both sizes, but the 17, the 11 by, what did I say? It was an 11 by 23. It's a really long one. This is one's cut up. So this is what it looks like. Something like this. so it's nice and long. And then I cut them in half, and then I end up with like 2 sizes, which is perfect for like t-shirts. Okay, and then I've got some of them that I cut again, and then those are really good for like tea towels, onesies, little clutch bags, something like that. So we're going to be playing around with one of these with this towel here. So let me bring you back down. So this is one of our ink mats that I have cut in half. So it's got like a waterproof barrier on the back, so you don't have to worry about your ink seeping through the back of the fabric and messing up what's behind it. Whether it's the back of a t-shirt or, you know, your table. And then you're just going to press it down. It's sticky, it's adhesive, so it's going to pull a lot of those wrinkles out. So that's pretty much why I quit ironing these things, because it pulls them out really good. But sometimes I wish I had ironed them, because, you know, there's always going to be a wrinkle right in the center of something I'm doing. So with fabric, you know, it pulls. You can pull fabric. And when you're applying your ink, sometimes you may, you know, pull it and it kind of would mess up your detail of your project. So in ink mats, it's going to keep it a nice flat surface. Less apt to do that. Like I said, it's going to keep it from bleeding through the other side. And we're going to do Country Kitchen, bringing home the bacon. Bringing home the bacon. Country Kitchen, bringing home the bacon. We had another cute one I was thinking about doing, but I didn't pull it out. I'm all about country vibe. I think we're going to bring this up just a little bit. Let's bring it up. Country vibe. The last time I used Country Kitchen, I done it the color of my kitchen, which was teal. I think we done this teal and black last time I done it. But tonight, I think we're going to do red and black. We're going to do like a checkerboard. What's the color of everyone's kitchen? What's your decor in your kitchen? What is the color of your kitchen? So let's see. What do we want to do in red and what do we want to do in black? Got the black open. Now, when you're dealing with fabric, you want to be mindful where your ink is, because you don't want to accidentally drop ink somewhere you don't want it to go. And you should really always apply your ink like top to bottom or bottom to top. Less out for it to bleed underneath that transfer than it would be if you go side to side. And then I like to start on the turquoise and then drag it up. Sometimes it doesn't always work out that way, but I try to start on the turquoise and then drag it through that transfer. That's going to help you with bleeding through because this ink is super thin. You want to make sure it's stuck to your fabric really, really good. And if you noticed, I did not fuzz. I did not fuzz if I'm putting it on fabric. No fuzzing. I want this as sticky as I can get it attached to fabric. And I'm using very little. I'm going back into my jar as I need to. Because remember, you can take your time. You're not in any rush. Now, being this is fabric, if you do make a little bit of an oops moment on here, it's a done deal. It's a done deal. So you want to be mindful on where the end of your fabric is, because you don't want to accidentally go over here and get some on your fabric. Now, if you do accidentally do that, you can always maybe find something, maybe a different transfer that you can put over it once it dries. And, you know, kind of accessorize over your little boo-boo part. So you could come back with a little pig and throw the pig over here and make another pig if you had to, you know. I'm just giving you some ideas in case you have a little oops moment. Because, you know, we're all human. You're all, you know, you're going to have an oops moment at some time. So you just got to figure out a way to recover. So I've done my little pig in black too. So if we were chalking, we probably would take a break right now and we would do the chalk and peel. We'd pull that up and loosen it out of that transfer, right? So it doesn't stick and dry in the transfer. But we don't have to with ink. We've got that luxury of pressing on. So now we're going to use Candy Apple Red because I love the red and black. I love that red and black checkerboard. Isn't that like pretty? Pretty. So this is Candy Apple. And I think for Candy Apple, instead of using a squeegee, I'm going to use my multi-tool. The multi-tool has got that nice surface on one end, and it's got this little shape over here which fits into your jars, really good for stirring. So this is called a multi-tool. Just because I can get into some tighter spaces, mostly down here. I think I'm going to do this the other direction. Set it bottom to top. I'm doing it towards you. So maybe I'm going to be less apt to bring some of that black in because it's really close to the black. You see that? That's why I opted for a different tool. We also have the detail tool. That's got even a thinner surface at the end than this one. So if you're trying to do like maybe some flowers and you got this little itty bitty space to work in, then that is like the bomb. Okay, so I've got that. Now we're going to go up here to Country. Almost could go to a bigger squeegee here. So for this, I got a little bit of black, or I dragged some black up. But, you know, we done a little ombre, right? Now for this, I'm going to let this dry overnight. And then in order to heat set this project, I'm going to use an iron. I'm going to put my iron on medium or cotton setting, depending on what your iron has for settings. I'm going to get a layer or a piece of parchment paper and put that parchment paper over my design 24 hours after I've created it because you want it dry. And then I'm going to, put the parchment paper down, and then you're going to iron for 4 minutes in a circular motion all over your design. Then you're going to turn your design inside out, and you're going to do the same thing on the back of it. You're going to iron it for 4 minutes again. And then once again, you are heat set. Then you can wash and dry that bad boy, and it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, now when you get ready to pull this, now it looks like I got like a little, that's a little debris here. I thought I was spazzing earlier when I saw it. You want to check your fingers and make sure that you don't have any color on here. I have done that from experience, so always check your fingers before you pull that transfer up. Make sure you don't have any red or black. And grab that corner. Kind of loosen it, kind of work it. Now, when you pull this back, you can go slow. Kind of look at your letters. Make sure you lock them. You know, because you remember you used very little in case you want to go over it a little bit more and make it a little darker. It's easier for you to kind of put it back down and put another layer on it if you need to. So just kind of look at your design as you're pulling it back. Make sure you're locking all your letters. There's a little bit of that black I said I brought into my red. Okay, remember I'm going to have to wash this rather quick. So when I get done, I'll go clean them really quick, and then I'll go see what comments I'll have. And there we go, guys. We have a Country Kitchen bringing home the bacon. What do you think? What do you think? You likey? And this is on one of those flower towels. I love these things. But I'm totally a country farmhouse decor girl anyway. Okay, project number 2 in the banks, in the books. Super duper cute. So I'm going to let this dry overnight. I just let mine dry on my ink mat. And then I take it off. Make sure you do remove it off your ink mat before you iron it. So tomorrow when I get ready to iron it, then I'm going to take it off the ink mat once it's nice and dry. Put that parchment paper on it. Then you're going to iron it. And you're good to go. Good to go. Project number 2. Since it's spring, we're going to do a cute little spring. How many of you guys have got some of these terracotta pots around your house? Kind of boring. You know, you can get these rather inexpensive at your department store that you go shopping at. Guess I can move my coffee cup. Anyway, we're going to jazz this bad boy up because he is bakeable, right? He's bakeable. You can put him in the oven and you can heat set him. So we're going to jazz him up a little bit. He needs a little jazz. He needs a little help. He needs some love. He needs a little love. So I think we're going to go back to our little minis we used earlier. And let's do deliciously, what's that say, balanced with some strawberries. Because, you know, you could have some strawberries in here, right? I think we done one the other day with this cute little butterfly that was on it. But we're going to do this one right here today. So we've got a smooth surface again. So we're going to have to fuzz. Let's get that off of there. I'm going to fuzz on my little fuzzing cloth. If you don't have a fuzzing cloth, you can take like a towel, a terry cloth towel will work. You know, worst case scenario, you can use your shirt or your blue jeans will work. Just something just to pick up some lint so it's not super duper sticky. Let's apply it to wherever you're going to want it to be at. Now this one's got a really big silk screen area, so you want to make sure that that boy is down really good. Silk screen area is going to be this big area right here that's not turquoise. That's where your design is going to be going through. I like to just take my fingers and see if I see my silk screen move any, is how I do it. Some designers take a squeegee or clean squeegee and just kind of squeegee it across just to see, make sure it doesn't have any air bubbles. So you could do that if that's better for you. Okay. Now I think we're going to do white on here just because this is this orangey looking color. But I guess these would be kind of cute if you painted them. But you know, you can get these, well, you could get them like in plastic. But if you get plastic, you're not going to be able to throw it in the oven. So you won't be able to bake it. But you can still put some ink on it and it'll last for a while. You know, don't think that if it's not something that you can bake, that you can't use ink. I have put ink on stuff that I wanted permanent because it's going to be exposed to some of the elements, but I'm not able to heat set it. So I just put it on there and, you know, you'll just see how long it lasts. I'm going to do this from the top, going down here. I'm going to go back over there one more time just to kind of get some of that excess off and smooth that down. Okay. Put that excess back in my jar. We ready? We ready to see what we did? Once again, you're going to pull it back slowly, kind of look at it. You know, try not to pull it diagonally. . Beautimus. Look at there. Deliciously balanced. And you know what? You put some cute strawberries in there. Wouldn't that be darling? Darling, darling, darling. With a cute little strawberry transfer on the front. Super cute. Okay, so far we've done 3 projects in what, 25 minutes? Not too shabby, right? Let's see if we can knock out this last one in 5. May go over a little bit, but I will try my best. Try my best. Yeah, super cute, isn't it, Barb? Super duper duper cute. Now, what you also could use those little minis for that we've been playing around with is there's another mini that we've got. Rare. Trying to think of the name of it. The rare minis. And it's got like a boss. And I put that on a little cap. Super cute, right? So there's one of the minis on a cap. Now, these caps I have a hard time ironing personally, so you can hit this one with like a blow dryer and try to put some heat on it, or I normally will throw it in the dryer on hot as I can and try to heat set it that way after it dries. You still want it to dry before you do any of that. And then here's another one that you could use those cute little minis for. And this is like so appropriate in this time, right? Everyone needs to dress up their face mask. And then I dressed mine up to do a little chalk coutouring, right? Super cute. Accessorize your decor. Okay, there was a couple of other things I wanted to show you there. So we've done it. Now we're going to move on to a t-shirt. So you could do ink with t-shirts, onesies, towels, pillowcases. I mean, it is endless what you can do. Endless, endless, endless. Okay. So we've got a t-shirt here, and you see how the t-shirt kind of moves, kind of stretches. So you're trying to ink it, and it's like moving all over the place, right? So this is where those ink mats come in handy. Handy dandy. Get you the big long one, cut it in half, and you can get some extra uses out of it. Just bought blueberries and raspberries. Yummy. I got home today and I looked at, somebody had the lawnmower out and they were cutting their grass. I'm like, what are you doing cutting your grass? And I looked at my grass and I'm like, well, yeah, it's growing. It's pretty and green. I may need to get in touch with my little yard guy and get on the books. This girl don't do outdoor work. I'm an indoor girl, not an outdoor girl. I'm a chalking girl. I chalk. I don't mow grass. Okay, so we've got our ink mat and our t-shirt. Now you just have to kind of look at it to see if it's centered, because you know it's only about 11 wide here. So you want to make sure your design is going to be centered. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. You love being in the yard? I love looking at my flowers. Okay, this one, we're all about crafting, right? Let's see if this is better for you guys. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy craft supplies. And that's pretty cool, right? We're going to play around with this guy. This is a size B. He's an 8.5 by 11 size-wise. He's part of that brand new transfers that just came out the first week in February. We just had some new stuff come back into stock today. Had a lot of paste went back into stock. Woo, woo. Creamy, dreamy paste. Now this would be really pretty if I had a yellow. But I don't. I don't have a very big assortment of ink colors. I've got like the basic ink color, and I just cannot talk tonight. I've got the basics, but I don't have as many ink colors as I want. Need to start getting me some more colors. So I think we're going to stick with whites because it's going to be white or black. What do you think? White or black? White or black for this? I think it's still crooked. Notice I did not fuzz it. It is super duper it is super duper sticky because it's like brand new out of the pack. So it's like pulling off of my ink mat. White, yeah, I'm kind of thinking white. I think it's going to pop the best. So what I have found works is I just kind of fold it over a little bit, sticky side up, just because I don't have to deal with a whole transfer when I'm trying to line things up. I find that that is helping me out. I'm using the center of the V here as my center point. Okay, and then once you're happy, because I got yellow right there. Not sure where the yellow came from. Okay, that's better. When I pulled up to get that yellow, I kind of pulled it up off that ink mat a little bit. Okay, so same thing. Oops, let's get you centered. Let's press it down. Make sure it's attached to the fabric really good. Make sure I don't see any movement on my silk screen. Okay, this time we're going to do white. You know what? Instead of using the small squeegees that we used on the last project, I'm going to upgrade and I'm going to use a angled squeegee because this is bigger surface. And it's just, you know, you got a bigger surface, you need a bigger tool, right? Bigger surface, bigger tool. So we're going to use the angled squeegee. Now this is the older version. There's a newer version of this, but it's kind of like, I call this one the mama squeegee. And then we got daddy squeegee. Gonna be mindful. I see some movement there. Let me see what moved. What moved? So when you see it move, stop before you get your ink all over it. So I'm just kind of putting that down where it kind of pulled up, getting it down where it needs to be. Then we'll continue on. You want to be mindful on where your ink is because you don't want it to get anywhere else. And then good practice is to go ahead and hold on to your transfer just to keep it from moving. I think we're going to take another breather. Where is my ink rag? So I got white on my fingers. Now let's take a different squeegee, a clean squeegee. Remember how I told you how sometimes you take a clean squeegee? Even though I thought it was down good, it's kind of moved on me 2 times. So we're going to use the squeegee trick I showed you about. Let's see if that works better. Let's do this, going this way. Okay. Back in the ink. You're going to start on the turquoise area if you can, and then drag it up. I like to go bottom to top or top to bottom. Don't go left to right. If you go left to right, it's going to move a lot more on you, transfer related. So let's get back over here. I'm taking my finger and I'm kind of holding that transfer and make sure it's not going to come up. Want to be mindful on your sides. Now, some people actually get like some masking tape and they'll mask it off so that they don't run the risk of coming off the fabric. You know, you could do that if you feel the need to do that. But I have found if you go like bottom to top, like I'm doing here, and if you go all in one direction and try to keep going that direction, then if your design does move a little bit, it just kind of follows through on the movement. So it makes it so it's not really noticeable. Got to pay attention to your hands because I know I've got some ink on my hands here, so I've got to keep them on the transfer and away from the shirt. Getting to the edge again, so I've got to pay attention to where I need to stop. Now, if you were doing this with chalk, you already would have had to stop by now and pull this up because this stuff would already been dry at the bottom. Now, I am going a little sideways here, which normally, like I said, I like to go top to bottom, but I'm getting a little movement here, so I'm just trying to follow my design, so hopefully we won't tell that we had movement. That's the goal anyway. That's the goal. Okay, I don't think I'm going to go back over it and get any excess on there because I had some movement, and that's going to make it more apparent if you go back over it a second time. So, if you feel like it moves some on you, just leave that on there. Clean your fingers. Get all your ink off of your fingers. Trying to get the lighting so it's better. Either too much or too little. Okay, you ready? You ready to see our ink masterpiece? I told you I figured I was going to go over. I'm about 10 minutes over. I think we need a little bit of ink down there. I see a little that I didn't get. Okay. Start from the bottom. Let's pull it up to loosen it. Oops. Check those fingers again. Loosen it. This thing is super sticky. So remember, you don't want to pull it up diagonally, so I'm just trying to pull it up enough that I've got something to work with. Okay, so I've got the bottom kind of loosened, so we're going to see if we can pull it up slowly so we can kind of look at it. I think this transfer is just going to be too sticky. You know, that's a good thing, right? It's a brand new transfer. You want it sticky. We getting there. We almost there. Just gotta be careful with this top part that it doesn't hit the top of this shirt up here. This guy is super sticky, super sticky. I got ink all over my fingers. Okay. By golly, that one was sticky. Okay, I don't know how many... Oh, we didn't fuzz this boy at all, did we? If all of them are going to be this sticky, we may have to start fuzzing them for fabric. Because that's like super sticky. Super sticky. Let me clean my fingers because I got ink all over the place. So, I may have to try some of these new transfers again on some t-shirts and see if we're going to need to start fuzzing these things. Normally, I don't fuzz, but normally it's not quite that sticky. Okay, let's look at what we did now since we got it off. Jeez Louise. Let's bring you up. I know my t-shirt's all stretched out of wonky here. Money can't buy happiness. Let's just get this ink mat out. Okay. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy craft supplies, and that's pretty cool. So there we go. What do you think? What do you think? So once again, you're going to let this dry. I'll let mine dry overnight for 24 hours. Put your iron on medium or the cotton setting. Get some parchment paper. Put parchment paper over your design. You're going to iron it in a circular motion for 4 minutes. You're going to turn the t-shirt inside out. So the back side of it. And then you're going to iron it again for another 4 minutes. And then this boy is ready to rock and roll. He can go in the washing machine. He can go in the dryer. Hopefully he's centered. And there we go. We have inked a t-shirt. I think I do also have a pillowcase down here. So let me show you a pillowcase. And then this is a shirt that I inked. See with my Chalk Couture on here. I've had this probably about maybe a year. So it's Still looks pretty good. Wash, dried all the time. There you go. That shows you what it looks like on fabric for a while, right? Let's see, where'd my pillow go? So this is one of our pillowcases. This is our 18 by 18 pillowcases. They come 2 to a pack. And then Give the Ones You Love Wings to Fly is cute little transfer on that one. And then I always like to do both sides of my pillows. Normally I'll do something seasonal on one side and then like an everyday on the other side, just so I can flip them. So this is something I've done for like Valentine's Day. XOXO. It's on the back of that bad boy. And there we go. That's just like a little recap of some things that you can do with some ink. Ooh. So we played around earlier on some of the other demonstrations with chalk. And then tonight we played around with some ink. So I hope you guys had a fantastic time during this demonstration. So if you have any questions, please throw them below in the comments and let me answer them. For those that are here at the party, this party ends tomorrow. Make sure you get all your orders in. And I look forward to seeing you guys, and make sure you jump over to my VIP page and join that so we can hang out more, as well as my business page, Crafts by Becky and the number 2. Y'all take care.